Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. Will it be Kell Brook versus Triple G 2? We back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Shout out to everybody holding us down, supporting what we doing over here. And I believe it will be a similar case of what Kell Brook and Triple G was. When Kell Brook jumped up two-weight classes from 47 welterweight to 160 middleweight and kind of, gave a blueprint and made people brave to fight Gennady Golovkin after that. Soon after that, Daniel Jacobs jumped in with him, and then after that, Canelo felt brave enough to jump in with Triple G. I think that was the fight when the welterweight moved up and gave people faith that Triple G wasn't indestructible. And I think a lot of people were listening to what Team Triple G was saying about how they can go to 54 to 175, and they changed to 168 and dominate the competition. It was talks about how, guys had to wear rib cages like around for American football players when they sparred Triple G because he was so hard on the body. It was talks about how he dropped Kovalev with a body shot, and they was building up this mystical fear machine. And I think most people can make the correlation or the parallel of Errol Spence being pumped up the same way. We're going to find out if Errol Spence is the truth and live up to the bill as this big welterweight monster that can go up to 160 and talk about winning a title at the right opportunity at 168-pound super middleweight. But it's the same thing. I made a video comparing Triple G and Errol Spence a while ago. I'll link it to the description if I can find it. I made a video about them two going at it. Them two having some parallels, having really, really good jabs, really good footwork, and closing the distance, cutting the ring off. Two really, really good body punchers. I made a video comparing their skills. Obviously, Errol Spence is seen as the more athletic of the two. There are some, similarities and some, not so similar similarities, if that makes sense. I'm sorry, but it's like I say, man, it could be a case where Mikey Garcia could be like Kell Brook and get some good licks in early on, and kind of the longer he goes with Errol Spence, the more punches he scored on Errol Spence, the longer he goes, it's seen as the more he's exposing Errol Spence. The more rounds he wins, the longer the fight goes, he's exposing Errol Spence. Same thing with Kell Brook. Triple G had to strap his nuts on and say, you know what, I'm just going to walk through this nigga punches and just, knock him out and break his eye socket and make him throw in the towel. And that's what happened. He got frustrated. He knew he was looking bad. It made him look bad, but ultimately it done right by him. Off of that fight, he was able to fight Danny Jacobs. He was brave enough to get in the ring with him, and Danny Jacobs said he wasn't even looking to get in the ring with him. He was just, clout chasing. That's what he said. He said, I was just, talking shit. I didn't really think, Golovkin was gonna fight me. Then, people thought Danny Jacobs won. It made it brave enough for Billy Joe Saunders to want to come out and fight. And obviously, he spent Billy Joe Saunders to go fight Canelo Alvarez. Is brave enough to jump up and fight him after dropping his belt. So ultimately, I can see that happening where Mikey Garcia can kind of, in people's eyes, I'm not saying this is actually going to be the factual narrative, but people's eyes, they can create the narrative that if Mikey, win a round or two or do well versus Earl early on and go longer than people expected, that, he exposed Errol Spence. That's what people are going to say. Oh, Errol Spence not that big and bad. And then maybe that can do for Errol Spence what it did for Triple G. It made people brave enough to get in the ring with him. It made Danny Jacobs brave enough to get in the ring with him. Maybe it make him brave enough for Keith Thurman to want to strap his nuts on to come back and fight. Maybe for Sean Porter, he'd be able to fight him as well too. It can be made, a lot of parallels or a lot of predictions on parallels can be made for this fight. Technically, Mikey, you could say he's moving up one weight class, but he did last campaign at 135. So technically, he's jumping up two weight classes. Kell Brook jumped up two weight classes. Triple G was seen to be this most feared man at 160, and even though that turned out to be a lie, and he was shortchanging people at the negotiation table, and they were selling fear, but it wasn't no fear in the back. Same thing for Errol Spence, to a certain degree. He's the most feared welterweight. He wants all the smoke. Okay, they're selling fear, and he's this big bad wolf that's gonna blow your house down. If Mikey Garcia is able to win the fight somehow, or score or do better than what we expect, which the expectations ain't too high. The expectations wasn't too high for Kell Brook. And I think Mikey Garcia has better footwork than Kell Brook. I think Mikey Garcia has better boxing pedigree than Kell Brook. I think Mikey Garcia have fought better competition than Kell Brook. Okay? This is my opinion. I think he's a more talented and gifted fighter naturally than Kell Brook. So would it not looking at hindsight, would it surprise me if Mikey if Mikey I was laughing at somebody text me and say Black Panther my ass. That's because Victor Oladipo from the Pacers came in as the Black Panther and he sucked tonight in FanDuel, so that's a little laugh from him. But like I said, Mikey Garcia is a better fighter than Kell Brook. In my opinion, in this situation, he's a more proven fighter. But it wouldn't surprise me, looking at hindsight, if Mikey Garcia did better than expected, or did at least as good as Kell Brook did. And people say, because people don't like Errol Spence, they run with the narrative that he got exposed. And fighters start to believe that. Deshaun Portis and Keith Thurman, they start to believe that. They think they can take him. You know what I'm saying? But the major difference is, I don't know if you caught on to it, but the big elephant in the room in this situation is Errol Spence not 33, 34, 35 years old. Errol Spence is 29 years old, 28 years old. I think he's 28 years old. So it ain't going to be a fact that, they aged out Errol Spence. It ain't going to be like, Errol Spence had a lot of punishment over his career like Triple G probably did in the style that he fought. You know, Triple G had a long, amateur background. I think he turned pro in 2006. Errol Spence been pro since 2012. So he doesn't have the mileage that Triple G has on him. That's the big difference. He's not as old as Triple G. He hadn't been boxing his whole life. So it was people saying, before I end this video, it was people saying that Carlos Ocampo, all right? It's people saying Carlos Ocampo exposed Errol Spence in the first round of their fight. Oh, Ocampo was doing well. He was outboxing Errol Spence, man. He was doing better. He was doing well, man. I thought he was winning the round, but he got knocked out. When you have a certain hype around you and people felt like a Kell Brook fight didn't solidify the hype, that's why I take it away from you. You just been deemed one of those guys that the public just don't like, and you have to earn your respect. And you're gonna be like Mayweather, or you're gonna be like Muhammad Ali, which they fought for their respect their whole career, knowingly or not knowingly. As far as getting their respect from the general public, Ali didn't get that respect from the general public until he retired and he was shaking. Mayweather ain't going to be appreciated until he retired and people actually step back and look at his accolades and see how great he was. And I think Errol Spence has been cursed with that, and Terrence Crawford. A lot of minority fighters, black fighters, when I say minority, I mean the black fighters in the sport of boxing. They're cursed with that, where your body of work ain't going to be admired until you're done and finished. And Errol Spence just might be one of those guys who body of work may not be admired until he's done and finished. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it wouldn't surprise. You know what? It wouldn't really 100% shock me. It wouldn't be the biggest shocker if Mikey did pull off the upset, because what if Mikey really lost? Would he make it to decision and they start giving rounds to him and he won? I mean, at the end of the day, I remember Golovkin team, Abel Sanchez, said a good quote before the first Canelo fight, even though they didn't really live up to the quote after it. But we know the predicament we are in. If we don't get the knockout versus Canelo, that's on us. He said that before the first fight on Boxing Scene. They said that. So he knows this. They know his predicament. You know what I'm saying? He knows he has to get the knockout. He knows who he's dealing with. A guy with a nice Mexican-American and Mexican fan base. He knows if he doesn't go out there and knock Mikey Garcia out, it's a good opportunity that they might rob him. It's a good opportunity that he might be seen as fraudulent in the public eye. Oh, you ain't that good. A lightweight took you the distance. Well, Sugar Ray Leonard lost to a lightweight. His first fight. Well, Shane Mosley beat Oscar De La Hoya. A lightweight jumped up 2 weight classes. Shit happens. And a lot of these guys, especially today, are bigger than what you think. A lot of these dudes walk around at what a natural welterweight probably walks around at back in the day. But I just want to drop this video, probably last video for the night. Goodfellas Sports TV. Want to make a donation? That link's in the description. Shout out to everybody that do donate. Appreciate it. We're on Facebook. You can DM me, ask me any business questions you want to, or you can have a video request, or you can email me questions as well. Shout out to everybody that's holding us down, sharing the videos all over social media, growing the brand. I definitely appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna continue to keep dropping, keep being the most active channel out there, keep dropping quality content. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Y'all know what it is. We gone.